it's amazing to me, you said you get to talk to the orthopedist and you get to talk to the doctor. In the States, you get like 15 minutes. They come in, they look at you, and
if you're lucky.
You don't see them again. Here, they give you their WhatsApp number.
Yes, they do.
And you text them back and forth, and they will text you back day or night. And
They will.
To me, that's amazing. That's something that you would never, ever, ever see in the United States.
No.
Welcome to Expats Like Us, a co-production with Me Vida Margarita, exploring the world of U.S. expat life in Mexico. In each episode, we'll meet new people and hear their stories. We'll also learn more about expat life and get a few tips on everything from making your move to settling in to living your dreams. And most of all, having fun. Let's dive in. Today's episode of Expats Like Us actually has 4 hosts. Please welcome Chris Kowalski, Erica Kowalski, Sherrie Bussey, and of course I'm Bob Bussey. We're all friends and expats who in the summer of 2021 sold our possessions, retired from our jobs, and made the move to Mexico. Today we're talking about some of our personal experiences of becoming expats. We've all noticed that when living in an expat community, we tend to have a lot of conversations about how things are different than they were where we came from. Today we're playing a game called Que Padre, Que Malo. As you might remember from episode 4, Padre means father in Spanish, but it also means cool. When we pair it with Que Padre means how cool. On the flip side, Que Malo means how awful. It turns out that lots of changes we've experienced in our expat lives we think are great. Que Padre, while some experiences take us a while to get used to, Que Malo. Don't worry, you'll catch on. Let's start with a topic from Sherrie.
Okay. Well, my Que Padre would be online shopping. I didn't do hardly any online shopping in the States, but I found out that in Mexico there's things I couldn't find, and between Mercado Libre and Amazon Mexico, they have been lifesavers. So anything from getting medication to household cleaning products like Tide Pods, which I cannot live without, but I can't find in the stores here, I can find online. And it's at my doorstep between probably 3 and 7 days from when I order. So that's definitely a Que Padre for me. Maybe the Que Malo would be some of the stores that were face-to-face stores or in-person stores for me back home are not here. So I really miss Target. Everybody knows this. I miss Target. I miss the Michael's Craft Store. And although I can get some of the things delivered to my doorstep, sometimes there's a price difference. So maybe a little 2-ounce paint that I would buy for crafting back in the States, $1.29 at the most. If you look online, it's an import cost, so it's about $12 for that 2-ounce paint. So I bring my paint back from the States.
One of the things I think with online shopping, the other thing I've noticed here, we get deliveries at like 9 o'clock on a Sunday night. We never had that where we lived in the States.
Either.
It's deliveries are 7 days a week and well into
any
the
time
evening.
Of the day
any time of the
almost.
day, yeah. So that's pretty
Chris is very familiar with shopping online. The Amazon man knows him.
I'm friends with him. We see him almost weekly.
You invited him for Thanksgiving.
He says weekly.
It's a good idea.
It's almost daily.
Almost.
And then he'll forget what he ordered. He gets excited because it changes on Amazon every day. Every day things will change. Sometimes you can't get something, and Chris will research and he'll look to see what he wants. And then he looks again, in a couple of days, and now it's able for delivery here without the import fee. And so he'll place the orders, and then sometimes he'll forget that he ordered it.
One thing I didn't realize when I moved down here, there's Amazon.com.mx, which is Mexico. I didn't know they had that, but you can still order things off of Amazon.com and get a large majority, it seems like, of those items delivered as well. You can't get everything from either one, but sometimes you can get things on one you can't get from the other, and vice versa.
And I noticed some of the things you pay a little bit of an import tax on it, but that's included in the price, so you don't notice it. You know? But the bottom line is, you can find pretty much anything on Amazon Mexico.
Yeah. And if you have Amazon Prime, it's almost always free delivery. So I feel like we're saving money.
It's almost like throwing away money not to order a bunch of stuff on Amazon, right?
And in all honesty, if you can't find it on Amazon, you go out and explore the pueblos or Playa del Carmen and find substitutes that are just as good.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we especially see that with, maybe food items. If you can't find it, well, maybe you could make it or substitute something else that's nearly as good or maybe even better.
Yes, exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
So let's go to Erica. What's a que padre and a que malo for you?
My que padre is friends. I thought I would miss more, like I miss my friends back in the States, but I thought here it was going to be lonely. But it's completely opposite. The que padre is everybody's friendly. You get to know people, and there's really everybody just likes each other. So I love that part of it, the friends. The que malo part is that meeting friends, we're literally here all the time. So if you are on a walk, what are you doing for dinner tonight? I don't know. Let's go out to dinner, and then you find yourself with no downtime.
Yeah.
And it gets busier than we actually realized, where we don't have a lot of downtime. We have to schedule downtime. We actually have a shared calendar now. So when we do something or I commit to something, he sees it. Because before it's like, I scheduled this. Well, I said that we were going to do this, where it got kind of chaotic. And so we actually have to schedule our downtime.
Right. And eventually it's like, oh my God, it's February already?
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought it was November.
Yes. Or we're coming up on our 3-year mark in the summer,
Yeah.
both of us.
Yeah.
So where did the 3 years go?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
True. That's true.
It was quick.
Yeah.
When you're having fun, it does.
But yeah, with friends, it's easy to make friends. Part of the reason I think that is because we all have this shared experience of getting rid of all of our stuff. And, like I said in the intro, we all talk about, we have a lot of the same conversations,
Yeah.
stuff we like and stuff we don't like. But that is bonding with people, just doing that,
Yes.
Yeah.
Or meeting people too. Like if you go to the pool, there's people that visit, and we didn't realize before they're here every year they come for a couple of weeks, and then when they visit, they want to hang out with you, they want to talk to you, they want to see you. So it's like you meet new friends every time. You have your main group of friends, but then you have those friends that visit.
Little secret pockets of friends that are
Yes.
temporary. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And luckily we don't have jobs because there's no way we could fit it all in with a job.
I don't even know how we worked before moving here. There's no time for work.
For sure.
So do you have a que malo?
The que malo is no downtime.
Oh, no downtime.
downtime.
Right.
No
Yeah.
downtime.
That is kind of
It's
malo.
fun time.
Right.
It's not necessarily a bad thing, but it can't get in the way of, we have to get our car registered. But we don't have time to go get our car registered because we
Right.
make things like happen with friends. So now we just push it. Or taking care of the outside. We push that. It's like, we can do that tomorrow. It's good. We'll go hang out with friends.
Yep.
And there are some people that I know their spouse has a set rule, like no more than 3 social events,
Yes.
or even maybe 1 or 2 social events if they're not a very social person
Yes.
per week. So they have to really pick and choose what
What
they
they wanna
want
do.
their spouse to go to, and then they just do the other stuff with their girlfriends.
Yes.
Or
Yes, I've seen that. Yes, I've seen that as well.
Their spouse is going to get angry about that.
All right, Chris, do you have a que padre, que malo?
I guess it'd be 2 different things. One of the que padres would be the Caribbean Sea here. Beautiful. It's warm all year long. It's amazing. There are so many things you can do: snorkeling, scuba, windsurfing, boating trips, fishing, paddleboarding, etc. You could spend every day at the beach here. The que malo would probably be the retornos. What that is the roads here it's a straight shot, and they don't have a lane to get over.
They don't have like an
To
overpass
pass,
like
yeah.
we would have in the States.
So about
right.
every mile or mile and a half, it seems, there's a return,
Right.
and you have to do that. And with gas right now, I figured it out, it's about $5.64 a gallon, U.S.
Right.
gallon. That's a lot of extra gas every time you want to go north, you got to go south for, you know, half
Right.
a mile and then turn around.
It's the distance, and also sometimes you got to sit at that return out and wait for traffic to
Yeah.
clear and it feels like forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
And then you get these big buses and you can't see anything. And,
All right.
They're kind of dangerous.
Yeah,
You
they
get
really are.
two taxi drivers that'll just line up next to each other, and it's like one at a time, but they don't have patience, so they think they're going to
Yeah,
get there sooner.
Yeah, we could do an entire episode just on how people drive in Mexico.
Oh
right?
yes, oh yes.
We've learned a lot. We're down with it. We manage it just fine. But
Definitely got to be defensive driver here.
yes,
I don't think I've ever heard him honk the horn as much as he has in Cancun. Cancun is crazy driving more in Cancun than it is here, and they will merge right in front of you, and they
2 or
don't
3
care.
inches away.
Yeah.
right. Yes, we all know that feeling. Sherrie gets a little nervous just in the passenger seat alone.
I can't look. Well, and then you see the number of cars. If you park anywhere, you like next to whoever you get out, and like, well, they had a little fender bender. I mean, there's scrapes on the side of almost every car.
Yeah. Well, they just had that fatal accident here. 6 people passed.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, and the next day there was one farther up the road, and I think 2 or 3 people died.
Wow.
Yeah, going the opposite direction. So,
And that's not uncommon here.
No,
at
it's
all,
not.
really,
And
so.
it's a straight road, so you always
Yeah.
wonder, how can that?
Right. You know, part of the thing, I guess, one of my things, well, I'll just do my K Padre, is our property taxes are really low.
Yeah, they're great.
It's a small, tiny fraction of what we paid in the States
Oh, yeah.
for property tax. The K Malo that goes along with that is our roads are not that great. We don't have the overpasses. We don't have the infrastructure
Yes.
that we can pay for in the States with our property tax.
Yeah, it's true.
You know?
That's what makes it affordable.
Yeah. So that's my K Padre and K Malo. And we'll be back.
Got a cool ocean breeze watching over me. Not a care in
Welcome back. Today we have all the producers of Expats Like Us, and we're talking K Padre, K Malo, about what we love about expat life in Mexico, and those things we just maybe don't like so much. Erica, what's your next topic?
Mine is the medical part. I have severe asthma, and in the States, my co-payments would typically consist of about $30, and my albuterol inhalers were $60. We carried medical insurance for the family, and that was $600 a month for that. Moving here, I can get my inhalers for 40 pesos each, which is about maybe closer to $3.
Yeah.
With no prescription, no copayment. I can go into the pharmacies, show them the albuterol, and they'll sell me as many as I want.
And they're the same quality.
They're
And
the same.
Right.
she's been using them for 3 years. And
The breathing treatments, I've had to use breathing treatments. I have to have a nebulizer. The nebulizer was about $20 US, where in the States, the insurance would basically sell you one, and it was way more expensive. The treatments in itself are about $6 each one. I had to stay in the hospital. The personal experience was I had to stay in the hospital overnight because I had a severe asthma attack. And the medical was still reasonable. It cost us $2,500 US dollars. And they would not admit me until we made full payment of $3,000, and then they reimbursed us.
Okay.
So considering no insurance, it was pretty inexpensive. It was still a lot. They did give me oxygen. They treated me well. Everything was amazing. The que malo part, they do tend, sometimes the hospitals do tend to kind of question you, and they will charge you more if you're not a local.
Right. Or I've heard when they find out you have Mexican insurance.
Oh, see, I didn't
I've
know
had
that.
people say, if you're going in for something that's not a big deal, do not tell them that you have insurance, because then you're going to get the jacked up
Higher
rate
rate,
on
yeah.
everything. Right.
Yeah, and then also the que padre was for Chris. He rolled his ankle playing pickleball, and he also had an accident with his finger. We
Playing
were
football.
playing football, and so when he got home after his rolled ankle, it's like, we're going to the hospital. You need to get X-rays. We'll do a 2-for-1. I mean, you're already hurt with your finger. Let's go get your
Right.
ankle checked. We walked into the emergency room. It was about 45 minutes. The nurse came in, checked his vitals, and then he spoke to both doctors, the emergency room doctor and the orthopedic doctor. We had no middleman, and that cost us at that time about $172.
And that came with X-rays.
With
That came
X-rays.
with the wrap that they put on my foot and my finger,
Right.
and the pain medicine that they gave me.
It's amazing to me, you said you get to talk to the orthopedist and you get to talk to the doctor. In the States, you get like 15 minutes. They come in, they look at you,
Yeah.
and
If you're lucky.
you don't see them again. Here, they give you their WhatsApp number.
Yes, they do.
And you text them back and forth, and they will text you back day or night. And
They
I
will.
mean, to me, that's amazing. That's something that you would never, ever, ever see in the United States.
No. And you walk out, like Chris was saying, with your X-rays, your whole medical report that they diagnosed you with. You walk out the door with everything.
And I
Right.
think part of the reason Erica's was so expensive is it was kind of during COVID, and that's what their first thought was, that she had COVID, and they gave her
Right.
2 or 3 tests, and she was negative. But it was an automatic $3,000 down because they thought that's what it was, and was the cost to treat it, I guess.
And you
so-
guys, you didn't have any problem getting reimbursed?
No, we went
No.
up
Okay.
to the cashiers. You go up and they review everything, and they say, okay, this is how much it was. And it was $2,500, and they said, this is what we're charging your credit card, because you had to have a credit card on hand. It's not like pay when you leave, you have to have it up front.
Okay.
So they just charged it and everything was fine.
Right. Very, very cool.
And we do have Mexican health insurance, but we've never used it. So most things are so reasonable, you just pay out of pocket. So, for example, a mammogram, $40. Just unbelievably cheap compared to what we would have paid in the States. And Bob had an MRI, and it was maybe $300.
$275 for an MRI. I remember getting one on my shoulder in the States, and it was over $3,000 to my insurance company.
Well, to us, we had to,
It was $5 or $5.50
Yeah.
just for our part after
for
the
our
insurance.
part.
Yeah. Right.
And then also your medication, your blood pressure medication.
Well, yeah, that's 19 pesos for 2 months. So about $1.
About
incredible.
$1
Yeah.
for 2
So
months.
yes, K Padre,
Yes.
the prescription medication and the I guess the lower level healthcare in Mexico.
Yeah.
It's fabulous.
Yes.
Chris, what do you got?
I would say the people here. Almost everyone you meet that's a local, they're friendly, they're accommodating, they're hardworking. Just some of the nicest, some of the gardeners here, the people you meet out at the restaurants, they're great. That would be the Cape Padre. I looked it up today. It actually, they usually work about 6 days a week, and the minimum wage as of January 1st, 2023 is 207.44 pesos a day. So $12 a
Right,
day that they're
right.
making, and they're always smiling. They always seem so happy, so accommodating.
Right.
On the other side of that, the Malo would be anytime you deal with somebody in a position of authority, such as getting your car registered, any of that stuff, they make it as difficult, it seems, as
Government
possible.
interacting with the government can be
Yeah.
very frustrating.
Yeah,
Right?
very frustrating.
Or even the Home Depot workers.
But yes, that's one of the stories that everybody goes through when they first become an expat is you got to buy a car, okay? Then you got to get license plates for it. And a lot of people will hire someone to go do that for them because they're intimidated by it. But eventually you're not doing that anymore because you realize you're throwing away money.
Right.
And you go there, but yeah, you need, 5 different forms. You need duplicate copies of your stuff. I went in just recently in the last couple weeks actually, and I wanted to get license plate for our car and for my motorcycle. And it was no problem. The car, it took like 2.5 minutes, they typed the thing out and gave it to me. The motorcycle, I didn't have a copy of my passport. Well, I had a copy of my passport for my car. The lady had a copy machine 2 feet behind her, but she was not going to make me a copy.
No.
So
No.
I had to come home, get another copy, and go back on another day.
And the next time you go, it might be fine with only one copy. It changes
The
every
ne-
time.
The next time you might go, they don't even need a copy.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I dread going to that place.
Yeah.
I just know it's like a day I have to wake up, and mentally I prepare myself, because you can have everything they ask the first time, the second time, and they still want something else.
Right.
I've learned to have extra copies, but sometimes it doesn't work depending on who's working. Then
Right.
you can kind of get away with it.
Right. We have a file folder at home that's just full of copies of from our marriage certificate to our passports to our residency cards.
Yes.
Well, almost everything here, your proof of address is your electric bill. And if your name's not on the electric bill, you might have problems. So if I know I need that, I take a marriage certificate to show that I'm married to the person whose name is on the electric bill, because I don't want to make a second trip.
Exactly.
So yeah, it's people are so nice. They're helpful. They're patient. They're patient with us gringos that 3 out of the 4 of us don't know that much Spanish,
Right.
and people are extremely patient with that. But yes, dealing with the government's a pain.
But do you find yourself, like, with the language barrier, a lot of them speak English or understand it here?
Yes, yes.
I do like that.
Yep.
And there's some that you'll get that they understand it, but they won't speak it.
Right.
But for the most part, like with you, Sherrie, your Spanish is getting amazing. Like, amazing. I am impressed with
Muy
it.
bien.
Oh, gracias.
She came up with que Padre and que Malo.
Yeah. Well, and it helps once in a while. I'll use my Spanish, and I get complimented like, "Ooh, your accent's very good." And I'm like, "Whoa, I'm gonna stick with this." So I use it even though maybe the waiter speaks English and I have an English menu. I still like to order in Spanish. Just
Yes. But that practicing, I think, helps a lot too.
Me too.
I saw a Facebook meme today, and it was a shot of Anthony Bourdain in one of his shows, and the caption was, "This is what I feel like when I pronounce jalapeno correctly." I thought that was pretty good.
Yes.
So, Sherrie, what do you got?
Well, one of my deals, the things I like a lot, is the cell phone plans here. So when we came down to Mexico and decided we were going to get rid of our U.S. phones and U.S. numbers, we went in and we knew from one of our neighbors here that had a blog that you could prepay for a cell phone plan and get a heck of a deal. And I think our first year the first 2 years we prepaid, and it averaged out to be about $12 per phone. It went up per month per phone, and it went up a little bit this last time, but it's still $20 per phone per month, which is about $180 less than we were spending in the States. And it covers all the data that we need, and it's pretty much your lifeline here. So
And it's through AT&T, right?
yeah,
So,
yep.
you know,
Right. It's
a big corporation, not
Yeah.
If you happen to go back to the States, your phone works just fine.
Yes, that's true.
It would probably pay off for Americans to fly down here, buy a phone, sign up for a 2-year contract, fly back to the States,
Yes.
and use their AT&T.
Yes.
And the phones are separate, so you just pay, for the phone that you want. And we started out with kind of cheap ones. I think mine was $150 for a phone, and it works just fine. I think I might, upgrade a little bit and get one with a good camera.
Yeah.
But,
and we had bought ours outright, our iPhones, back in
Yeah.
the States before we came down here, because we had also saw the same blog and thought, heck, that's a good deal. You
It
just
is.
have to put a SIM card in and good to go.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And I think, maybe one of the key malos with that is that, maybe people rely a bit on technology. So you could also use Google Translate with your phone if you wanted to talk to someone face to face and translate what you were saying or what they were saying, or, reading directions off the back of a package or whatever. I use that quite a bit with cooking. But I think sometimes people get overconfident, like, I really don't need to use Spanish. I don't need to learn it. And then they don't. And I think that's kind of sad that people move to Mexico and they don't even try to learn any of the language. So that's my key Padre.
Thinking about is what I'm putting in my mouth. It's what I've been jonesing for. Más tacos, por favor. So, hey Jose, please pass the pico. Don Julio, keep chopping that cilantro. Add some
I guess I would go with that as technology in general is great here. Think of how much we all use social media. Social media is great. It's everything that's available in the States is available here. But what it does, think of what it would be like to move to Mexico and leave your family and your friends before there was internet or social media.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you would, because mail is almost non-existent here. You would never rely on the mail.
Yeah.
But now it's like, I look at my social media list of friends and it's like I never left the States.
Right. Yeah. You see what they're doing every
true.
day. and-
Every day. I mean, we're living virtually through our friends in the States like we never left.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To me, that's one of the big benefits of just technology in general that we have down there.
For sure.
Now, the downside of Facebook and stuff is there's a lot of Facebook addiction and stuff that happens. I mean, we all know people that spend the entire day on their phone and they develop, drama in their head
yeah.
over,
Yes.
things that they see there, and oh my God, and the sky is falling all the time, and it's,
Yes.
that's kind of the downside. The other technology is I have Expat TV.
Okay.
It's $30 a month, and I get, I don't know, there's thousands and thousands of channels, like basically almost every channel on earth.
Yeah.
And if there's a channel that's not there, you email them and they put it on there. So, and it's like $30 a month. And when we were in the States, we had, Dish Network, and we had local cable, and we went through every iteration of television services, and we never paid less than like $80 or $90 a month, and that was at the low end package for those things.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yeah, we never had movie channels back in the States. We got them all now.
Yep.
I was always too cheap to get
He
HBO.
was.
Do you know what though? That's the same thing with us. It was just money wasted every month.
Yeah.
The only thing
yeah.
I think you really splurged on was the internet because you
Yeah,
were
like
a
fast
gamer. He
internet.
liked the fast internet. And so Chris and our son Daniel, both Daniel Xbox, Chris PlayStation, so he wanted the fast internet. That was the only thing he splurged on. But everything else, it was down here. And we didn't have time to watch TV. That was the other thing.
Right. And we don't have time to watch TV here either, but at least we're not paying an arm and a leg for it,
Exactly.
right?
If you do get a rainy day and you want to sit
Right.
inside,
Yes.
it's available.
Right, or you want to, see what's going on in the news or whatever, you can sit down and do it. But yeah, and it is all internet based, so depending on what service you have, it can get so it
Buffers. Or
what do I want to say, buffers a little bit,
Yeah, we have
but-
fast internet here.
But yeah, our internet, the internet options here, you would think going to a developing country like this, you'd have problems with that, but
Right.
you really
No,
don't.
no, it's quick.
It's fast. I mean, and so many of the things that you buy are connected too. Like our oven can be connected to our Alexa.
Yeah, our fridge and our air conditioners
Yeah.
all can be run off the
Yeah.
phone. And
So the technology in Mexico is just as good as it is anywhere in the
Yeah,
world, I think.
sure.
So
Yep, I agree.
I was going to say also along technology, solar. We have solar. You guys have solar.
Right.
That's one of the best investments we've made here. I know several people, install around this area, and we ended up getting ours for a heck of a deal. Our last bill on our solar bill was 62 pesos.
that's like what, $4?
Yeah, or I should say our electric bill and not our solar
Yeah.
bill. But yeah, like $3 or $4.
Yeah.
For
and
2
that
months?
was for 2 months.
Yeah, we had 8 panels put on before we moved here. We had them put on our condo, and we figured they paid for themselves probably about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've been here not quite 3 years.
Well, our bill the month or the 2 months before we got it was 7,400 pesos, as opposed to 62 pesos. So yeah,
Right.
big difference.
So
Yeah, it's
maybe,
amazing.
what, 350 US or
Yeah.
even a little bit more?
Yeah,
Yeah.
depending on the exchange. Yeah,
Big difference, yeah.
for sure.
And before he was always watching to make sure that there was one air on. And I told him he was cheap because I wanted it a little bit cooler, especially in the hot months.
Right. Oh,
Like
yeah.
you want that
We
air.
can edit that out, right, Bob?
But now he's okay with having 2 on, 3 on.
Whatever you need.
Or because it's paying for itself.
Especially in these cooler months, you're racking it up at
Yes.
stores. It goes right back on the grid here, and you don't have to have any
Right. It's-
batteries or anything.
It's like buying stuff on Amazon. It's almost throwing away money not to use your solar to run your air conditioner.
So the only drawback is I know people that moved here and they see how cheap people have with their solar panels or whatever and want solar panels. And if you're buying in a condo, just make sure that your unit is allowed to have solar panels, because we've had friends that have a garden level or middle level unit, and they're limited to maybe 2 or 3 solar panels, which doesn't quite do it.
Right.
So then they have to really limit how much they use so that they don't go into the non-subsidized electric rate, which is much higher. And I feel bad for them. It's summertime. You'd like to have at least air conditioner on in the bedroom at night. And
Yeah.
Yes.
I know people that limit
Right.
themselves because of that. So
Yes.
that's a good question to think about or check out before you buy.
Definitely.
Yes.
That's one of the reasons we chose this townhome, because we have our own rooftop, and we knew we could. And you guys,
Right.
luckily, your whole building
Right.
has solar for the entire building. So
Put up solar panels till the cows come home.
exactly.
You could power the whole neighborhood with this place. Yeah.
Yes.
But yeah, amazing technology that we have down here, and that's just one aspect of it. Well, I think that's it for our podcast today.
I think so.
Thanks to Chris Kowalski and Erica Kowalski and my wife Sherrie, and we'll see you next time on Expats Like Us.
Hasta luego.
In each episode of Expats Like Us, we're going to teach you a new Mexican slang word. This is something you may not find in your phrase book or your online Spanish class or your Spanish app or wherever you're learning your Spanish. Instead, this is a term used primarily by Mexican Spanish speakers. Today's word is
No manches.
no manches. I've heard that or I've read that before. How do you spell that?
No, N-O, manches, M-A-N-C-H-E-S.
No manches. What does it mean?
It literally translates to don't stain, but it usually is used when you're talking to friends, like no shit, no way.
Okay. No way.
No manches.
No manches. That's a good one. Thank you, Erica Kowalski from Mi Vida Margarita. We'd love to hear your thoughts on today's topic. Just look up Expats Like Us on Facebook or send us an email at expatslikeuss@gmail.com. You can also see the video version of today's discussion and all of our discussions on our YouTube page. Follow, like, subscribe, and leave us a review. Thank you to the producers of Expats Like Us for getting together and playing a round of Que Padre, Que Malo. It's been fun. Thanks Chris and Erica from Mi Vida Margarita, and thanks to my wife Sherrie. Most of all, thank you for tuning in to Expats Like Us, and thank you for interacting with us on social media. Next time, we'll bring you more first-hand information about your international move. Until then, remember, our homes are not defined by geography or one particular location, but by memories, events, people, and places that span the globe.
Think I'll make do with a salted rim and a lime to boot. Yeah, 75 and sunny,